Go. Hello, my name is Areg Danagoulian. I'm an assistant professor at the Department of Nuclear Science and Engineering here at MIT. I've been here last 4 years. I've been teaching for the last 4 years over here. And while my background is in experimental nuclear physics, I work on the intersection of nuclear physics and society. I work on development of technologies necessary to counter the dangers of nuclear weapons. In particular, I'm focusing on the development of techniques for verifying future treaties, future nuclear disarmament treaties. Today, we had a very interesting panel discussion where a number of topics relevant to Armenia were discussed. One of these topics that I guess are particularly relevant to my background is the question of science and Armenia. What kind of scientific development needs to be done in Armenia? So there's two parts to science. There's basic science, pure science, and applied science. And I should point out that Armenia in the Soviet times was a significant contributor towards science, scientific output. There was lots of scientific output, both in applied and basic sciences. Armenia had the highest per capita number of universities and scientific institutions. Number of people with the higher education were the highest in Armenia, in former Soviet Union. And there were a number of universities, a number of institutes doing cutting-edge research in science. So we really have this culture of science, and even going back to medievality, we always made in our culture, we make a real big deal. We really put a big emphasis on the scholars, medieval and post-medieval scholars, Armenian scholars that have essentially shaped our understanding of what it means to be Armenian. I think for Armenia's development, it's really important to invest in sciences and technology. Technology being the applied version of science, essentially. It's important to find a good balance between science and applied, pure science and applied science. I believe that development of pure science is necessary essentially for what it means to be a human being. Humans are interested in knowledge for sake of knowledge. At the same time, there are very stark realities facing Armenia. Some of them are existential threats, and we have to be pragmatic about this. And we need to put also lots of investment in the applied sciences, which is already being done. It's also necessary to keep in mind that applied science cannot exist without basic science. So I hope that the investment in the sciences in Armenia will continue, which will allow to Armenia to become a progressive, modern, country that's going into the future with good opportunities.